What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome to today's pre-market analysis live stream. Today's Monday, July the 14th, and honestly, there's likely not going to be much that we really need to mark out because we haven't necessarily broken anything from pre-market pre-week last night. We're just going to be into a bit more specific details now, and we're still going to review all of the things which have happened, just so we get a better view on certain things. But we see that once we have came into this 14 hour, we did see that buy action occur, and now we are inside our gap fill area. And this area is going to be very special because we have to see how we react at this area, and that might determine how we play out the day here today. And it's going to essentially apply very similarly to here on NQ as well. So let's just overview all the levels that we have on the chart, right? First of all, these levels on the all-time high region are validated because that because they're near the all-time highs. Second of all, this 2 hour is also validated because of the big drop it created alongside its volume. And you can notice that with the volume profile. You see volume around the 2 hour area. Let's go 2 hours so you can notice, yeah, you see a decently sized volume node here at this 2 hour relative area. And come in, reject. And we did see absorption at these liquidity levels right here, and these levels are truly our most significant levels, so we're looking to see how we react from those levels in particular. Hold on. Alright, we're back. So I'm definitely looking to see if we head to that region. I want to see how price react, and because of the reaction that we saw there, price may be attracted to heading back towards that area just to test it. Seeing as we've broken the initial gap fill area, if you can break this area, you might be able to head up there. Now this lower zone, this 4 hour, let's go on the 4 hour on the footprint. Show you how it looks. We saw a pretty good amount of volume down there. Nothing too significant, right? In pre-market, we were actually planning to invalidate it, but that's where our volume profile came in and shut us down, because if we extend it, the volume is down there with decent significance, and you can see that our point of control where most volume is around that 4 hour area, around that liquidity. If we break that liquidity, we're into a low volume node, making it easy to break through and head towards the next level, which we do see that that is a high volume node as well, and that's with this entire consolidation zone. So this is validated, and the corresponding liquidity levels are also valid. And if you look down here recently as to what happened, although it's generally low volume, we're seeing near these lows, you might have been seeing seller absorption occur. The quality of the absorption, not the best, but the occurrence, it's likely definitely there. And we're seeing aggressive buy pressure occur coming into this. So potentially we want to keep pushing up to this gap fill area, and let me see how bookmap is looking too. So if you take a look at bookmap right now, what you see is that there's level around 6292. Let's say that, right? 6292. So if you go back here and mark out 6292, take a look at where that is. That is right at that gap fill area. So this is going to be a key level for understanding where we might go for the day. And yeah, if you break above, see barriers or continuation signals, we might enter longs targeting these highs. But if we react, maybe a reversal play from that gap fill or a continuation of the downside. It just depends on how price reacts to that gap fill area, and that's what we are going to be looking for the day. If market opens, if market opens, and in some case after 8:45, we're still not touching that barrier, and you see buying continuation signals, It could also take longer in that case. Just looking to see how price reacts, and we're going to see lots of volume coming into Monday market open. But yeah, that's essentially going to be the analysis for NQ, not NQ, ES. Now, it's essentially going to be the same thing on NQ as well. All-time high liquidity, volume weighted liquidity. This was where we saw our absorption as well. Then we have our gap fill area. Then we have all this lower liquidity. Instead of that 4 hour that we see on ES, we have all this liquidity. And if you take a look, we did sweep a lot of it, so I'm going to remove it simply so it's not as choppy, let's say. But this level right here held very nicely. As you can see, we've not closed strongly below any of them. So that liquidity simply got swept, and now we're seeing a reaction, which is pushing me to believe we might head higher, or at least until this gap fill area, especially on ES. But we see this liquidity holding very nicely, seeing a reaction from such. Now I am going to check and see if there's any more liquidity levels that I should mark. And I'm not seeing anything else for the time being. This could be deemed as a 1 hour. So I am going to go ahead and mark that. Let's go to 30-minute, do our smaller time frame analysis. This could potentially be deemed as a 30-minute. 30-minute right there. Remember, these chart patterns, if you or chart levels, are all just points of interest that have been determined and validated or invalidated with the volume analysis. Without using volume analysis, we wouldn't know the significance of such, and might leave us a bit clueless in terms of how price may actually react. That's where order flow comes in, and that's where order flow can truly be leveraged. I'm gonna keep this 30-minute even though we can move it down there. Let's see where the volume is at around this area. I mean, it's distributed. Everything above this zone is low volume. 15-minute nothing, and now we're on to the 5-minute. Now this is where we can start having a bit of fun. And you see there's lots of room. We might expect a big move up or down. It's just, honestly, it's going to be hard to tell. But we just have to play with the factors and conditions that have been given to us. Additionally, once you see this big gap, we might be able to consider this as a 30-minute zone as well. So I am going to mark that out simply because of that big gap will drop down, but that's market open. We just have to see how we react there. Let's come back on, let's go on the 5-minute and balance above that once again. Oh yeah, I want to go on the 15-minute, see if there's anything there. Nothing there. That is a 15-minute, not too significant, but yeah, now we're on the 5-minute. Now we can be prepared for market open in approximately 2 minutes. But yeah, I do want to go check for any levels on ES as well. We do have a 1 hour here. Ooh, and we do have a 1 hour zone there that I quickly forgot to mark out yesterday. Just a quick sweep above it and then move down is what seems to have happened. Let's go on 30-minute. Maybe we can see that 30-minute zone again, but not seeing that. 15-minute, not seeing that as well. I mean, yeah, now we're just gonna be on the 5-minute waiting for our move and a reaction. We don't have too many levels nearby to play with, but that's where bookmap is gonna come in, and that's where we can really leverage bookmap. 40 ticks. Yeah, we need more volume. We need to see a reaction from that gap fill area, and depending on that, we can potentially make any trades. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this pre-market live. Any questions, just feel free to join the Discord for completely free. There's lots of resources that I think you can use. Everything is completely free. You can also leave a comment down below, or you can do a bunch of things to contact me directly. But as you can see, we've just hit that gap fill top upper bound. And we have psychological level here at 6300. That has been key last week as well. We have 5 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Market's open. Let's see how we react. We pushed over that 30-minute here on NQ. And we've pushed above that gap fill area. So honestly, I'm just gonna have to wait until a continuation signal. The the range that we're sitting at is not the best, looking at how there's so much space here, but that could give us an imbalance fill, capturing a larger move overall, which could be better for our P&L. Depending on what we see, that's where we can enter. But yeah, that's completely it. One thing I do want to say before I conclude, if you want to take advantage of Orderflow for completely free to start practicing and integrating into your strategy, take a look at Addis charts. The link will be in the description down below. It's been a channel partner for a while now, and you can access nice footprint charts like this, even for completely free with a small delay. So yeah, definitely check them out. Check out the book about live stream, and that's all I have here for today. If I take any trades, or even if I don't take any trades, I'll see you guys today evening for the market analysis or trade recap session. So I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.